So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line.
Begin by running the option.
And whoa, he's going to hope that that is not a sign of things to come. A rude welcoming to this ball game. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Jackson from the shotgun.
That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
And they run the option here on 1st and 10.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Left side, the 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick 6. He'll bite, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge.
Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
Yeah, and you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, Did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The Ravens 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Brandon Jones able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Andrews. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for him. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing is Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe.
And the Dolphins will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
To end the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at their own 12-yard line. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Stopped in his tracks and given a loss on that play by Patrick Queen.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Tagovailoa to throw.
Open man is Waddle, complete.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And this is going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got him the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going.
Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But, Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Ready.
They'll run on 1st down. Edmonds. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Hey, red, steel blue, steel black. Strike, check, strike. Cut.
Play action, now it's Tua. Gonna look deep for Wilson.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Here we go.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
Couple of Alabama guys there. Tua to Waddle for the Miami first.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays, because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, you're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Flushed out right. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
Black Ultra.
Looking to pass. Tua. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Come on,
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Tua with a quick throw, caught out wide. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Jackson now.
He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Gets his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one. Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
Jackson.
Able to locate Andrews here on the out route. He'll get it inside the 20.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson.
He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield.
And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, That may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. From the gun, Jackson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Tucker's kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone.
And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started.
And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take?
That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for Miami. 73 yards.
In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And that's how you start a drive, because you know they had this play in their back pocket, waiting for the right time to unleash it. And boy, did they pick the right opportunity. Unleashed it big time, and that was also a big-time throw.
Edmonds is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line.
Not able to go anywhere that time. Second down. So stuffed from the 2. Now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami.
Alec Ingold, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins go up by 2 touchdowns.
Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play.
And that flag accepted.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Escaping the pressure, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. 40 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins.
And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
We're in Baltimore, 3rd quarter action, 2nd and 10.
Another carry now for Edmonds. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football. Sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On the set. Cluster, 6. Hey, computer. Black shot. Get.
Tagovailoa going to try and throw on third down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Boy, Brandon, that's what I'd call an ill-advised pass right there on third down. I mean, you just need a yard or two to keep the drive going. Instead, he's trying to hit a home run. You've got to really like your chances if you're going to take a shot like that.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Here's a give to Dobbins running right.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's a give to Edmonds running to the right. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Edmonds has increased his yardage every season in the NFL, but injury sidetracked what was expected to be his breakout season. Now Miami, he is someone they signed, expecting him to be the lead man in the backfield with several talented runners.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Off of play action. Tagovailoa. Out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Cedric Wilson, his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Dolphins get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Sanders on for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Makes the score Dolphins 31, Ravens 3.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a third down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to get the football back as time will run out in this third quarter of play.
So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready. Check that.
Edmonds running out of the shotgun. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Here we go.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Red, yellow. Ready.
Now Tua. Steps away to his left. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller.
And the Ravens are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
50 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, where was that all game? Or maybe just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run right there, that's what they were looking for.
And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
2nd down at 4. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
People across the league have Dobbins picked as one of the likeliest breakout players for 2021. Unfortunately, that all changed after a torn ACL, but those expectations still remain the same for 2022. This is a guy who many believe can be one of the league's leaders in rushing this season and a true workhorse for the Baltimore backfield.
Jackson going to find his running back here. It's Dobbins. Down inside the 10.
Touchdown!
J.K. Dobbins.
29 yards.
And the Ravens are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And he puts this one through. That makes our score 31-10. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think they might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he trotted out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let him go out there with a little bit more confidence.
Cut. Check you. Right.
Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Ready.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Yellow. Blue.
Here's Tua. Flush to his right. And going deep for Hill. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And he made that look effortless, didn't he? I mean, he's had a great game throwing the football. This is going to add to his yardage total in a big way. It's one thing to be accurate on your short and intermediate throws, but when you're hitting the bombs like those, look out.
And that one covering an even 63 yards in the air.
And he is going to lose yardage here. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop.
Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
Right.
Tua going to throw.
Got a man here. It's Wilson. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
On the ready.
On the handoff, it's Edmonds. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Tua, fast pass outside complete. Touchdown, Dolphins.
A great effort there. His first NFL reception goes for 6.
And the Dolphins up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter.
Things are rocking easy here in the 4th quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
Yep, and now here is another interception. Picked off Byron Jones, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Second down and another run with Edmonds.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
He has been a workhorse, and now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And that is no good. But that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Miami, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll head back home next week to